We will hold gun dealers that break the rules accountable for their actions.
Now, who would oppose that? Certainly not the same lawmakers who ran on Law and Order just a year ago, right? Well, you'll be wrong. Given rising homicide rates and the threat of more gun violence this summer, the Biden administration has announced a new strategy to combat this crisis. It's filled with preventative measures that have proven to reduce gun crime and attack its root causes. Initiatives like investing in evidence-based community violence intervention programs, cracking down on rogue gun dealers that sell firearms to prohibited people or fail to run required background checks or falsify their records. Biden is also expanding summer programming and employment opportunities, and he's helping formerly incarcerated individuals successfully re-enter their communities. Now, who would oppose that? Certainly not the same lawmakers who ran on Law and Order just a year ago, right? Well, you'll be wrong. Scroll down conservative Twitter and you'll find all kinds of reasons why all this is bad. Imagine their surprise when they learn that Biden's plan allows entities to use $350 billion in state and local funding for purposes such as, wait for it, hire more law enforcement officers, or that it increases the efficiency of enforcement entities tasked with cracking down on bad gun dealers that violate our laws. All of this, of course, represent important steps towards reducing crime. But communities and survivors of gun violence across the country are calling on the administration to live up to Biden's campaign promise and expend political capital on a comprehensive gun violence reduction strategy that ends all forms of gun violence. Because the public health crisis of gun violence deserves no less attention than the nation's climate or infrastructure crisis. The administration must work closely with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to find a viable path forward for advancing critical community investments and a set of comprehensive life-saving legislative reforms through Congress. They must end the filibuster to ensure that a minority of senators do not continue to place their political ambitions ahead of our lives. As President Biden said during his joint address to Congress in April,
I'll do everything in my power to protect the American people from this epidemic of gun violence.
We must continue to hold him accountable to this commitment.